From WCPO 9, it's a new day with your host, Mona Morrow.
Well, good afternoon and thanks for joining us. You know, Ohio suffered 109 domestic violence fatalities in the year ending June 30th, 2020. That's a 35% increase in fatalities over the same time period last year. And that is according to the Ohio Domestic Violence Network. So, enter the Cassie Project. The goal of the Cassie Project is to give survivors an outlet so they can share and heal. And I want to welcome my first guest, Khrys Stiles, who is the founder of the Cassie Project. Khrys, thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course, you're welcome.
Well, Cassie, talk about what motivated you to start the Cassie Project.
Initially, it was the murder of a very close and dear friend of mine, Cassandra, who I affectionately called Cassie. She was murdered in 2020, 3 days before Christmas, and we were both pregnant. And when I found out about the murder, and after going through the trial and all of that, I felt like, first I was a little angry because I didn't know that was happening in her life. And then I had to remember I had not shared with her what had happened in my life when it came to trauma, sexual abuse, and domestic violence. And I felt like we needed an outlet as survivors, other individuals, women, men like myself who have been through it. We needed a safe outlet where there was no judgment. We didn't have to fear ridicule, and we didn't have someone trying to pick our brain, just needed a safe space to talk. And so I created the Cassie Project, which I named after Cassandra. And the acronym is Keeping All Survivors Safe, Informed, and Emancipated. And Cassie's name started with a C, but mine started with a K. But the Cassie Project is Kassie, and that was my way of kind of uniting us together.
You know what, Khrys, you are such a brave person, and I've known you for a while now. Would you share your story of survival that really has captured so many people in our community?
Yeah. I don't often talk about my story. I usually talk about Cassie's the most. I'm a survivor of childhood rape and molestation, and I am also a survivor of not sexual, but domestic violence as well. And it all started when I was 5, and my stepbrother kind of started that ball rolling when he sodomized and raped me. And after that, it just seemed like I had like this stamp on my forehead that said, if you want to violate somebody, violate me. Because then it went on to another babysitter. And then there was another babysitter when I was 10. And then as I got into my upper teens and graduated from high school, it started again with, just like date rape and things like that. And each time I thought I was doing something different and making the right choice, better choices with who I went out with and things like that. It's like you can't just look at somebody and know that they are going to violate you that way. And then growing up, I was involved in family domestic violence, was an intimate partner, which at that point created a monster of sorts because as an adult, I was in a relationship where there was some domestic violence present. So I don't know if we kind of want to maybe go into like in details, but for the most part, that is my journey. And those are things I never told Cassie. So, like I said, we would sit on the couch at her place or my place and we would, talk and laugh and drink wine and things, but we never told her those dark secrets. And that's probably because of shame and embarrassment. But that's why I created an outlet for us to, for survivors to sit on the couch and feel safe and know that when they speak, that when they're sharing their truth, that there's someone there who's walked in their shoes. And so we're connecting peer survivors with survivors on their journey of healing.
So, Khrys, you have so much and so many services that you're offering to people who are going through this, and you talk a little bit about how you're helping